Capstone is an experience for students outside of the school realm where they can kind of get more in touch with things that are going on. I don't want to say in the real world because school is the real world too, but it's just, I guess, a different layer of that.
I think of Capstone as like a grounding experience in kind of building up a person's resume, honestly, for where they want to go in their life. So I view it as like a stepping stone. Like, you've done a lot of academic studies at this point, getting your foot into the door of what working full-time looks like, what different careers feel like.
So I am being a teacher's assistant for a elementary school art teacher at Colbert Elementary. So I'm working with him, doing some projects.
We're the gym teacher's assistants.
We've been pacing kids to hit their mile time because that's the unit they're doing right now. They're achieving their new goals by cutting seconds off their mile, so that's one big thing.
Also, we've helped the teachers a lot with everything, cleaning the closets and just helping the kids out with the games they play.
A lot of organization, making sure that old stuff gets renovated. Like, we'll be painting this room, we're updating some records and stuff like that.
Also, we cleaned out the long jump pit and put new sand in it.
We're getting ready to help set up for the track and field unit.
We're teacher's assistants from skilling at Blue Ridge Middle School. And I'm a teacher assistant for Miss Newman, and I work with band. So we play along with the little kids and we help them out. And then I'm conducting a 6th grade piece.
I'm building guitars for the Hungry for Music charity.
Our Capstone project is a 28-foot by 8-foot mural in the language hall, and our plan was to add some urban culture through the arts in this hallway.
So I'm building an ultralight experimental aircraft. It's an older aircraft. It's like from the 80s. It's you don't need a pilot's license to fly it because you basically just build the entire thing yourself from a kit.
We were organizing and coordinating Science Field Day.
Okay, so I'm painting a mural next to the band room. It's partially to cover up what used to be there because originally there was a mural that looks like what is currently around the band doors, and then that was painted over for another mural, and then I'm painting over that mural.
We're doing a sunset and landscape of rural Percival.
The largest impact I see is, I guess, a broadening of people's perspectives of what the job market and what it means to work. Or what it means to have a career, what it means to be really vested in a project. So I think what students get most of all is perspective.
One of the conversations that I've had with a lot of students since they've started Capstone is that they didn't think they would be this busy, and they're constantly busy 24/7. And also I think figuring out how to manage that, but also while they're doing something that they chose that they're passionate about, has been a good experience.
Well, I'm interested in becoming an art teacher, so being able to work with one and figure out, the ins and outs of how to get kids involved, what to do when kids are done early, or what to do when they're struggling. It's helped me get an insight of if this is actually something I want to do, or if it's maybe just it could be fun.
I'm an athlete and I like seeing other kids who want to be athletes succeed.
And you're giving back to the kids, and they enjoy being with us.
And it's helping to foster young talent, these kids that find sports that they're good at by being able to test out different sports and have a good time with it.
Well, I've been building guitars for years, and I think that for this community service project, it would be good to sort of donate these instruments to sort of a worthy cause, because I believe that everybody should have the chance to express themselves.
The whole idea around this mural was to add a bit of urban flavor into Valley itself, because the only place where you can really appreciate urban or city-style art is DC, and we wanted something a bit closer to home.
I feel like a lot of times the arts kind of get pushed away in favor of things like sports or academic classes, and I think that it's very important to push the fine arts in the school and have them more visible. And with all these murals, people are going to see it in the hallway and be more encouraged and inspired to take the arts, so one day they can use their knowledge from those particular courses in the art departments and incorporate them into their own capstones and into the community as well.
Well, I want to study music education, so it's really going to help me get experience in the classroom before I go to college, and then when I student teach in college, it'll be a lot easier for me to do well there.
I know teaching music is like a really valuable experience because if you can teach other people, you can also teach yourself.
I'm studying aerospace engineering next year at Tech, so me and Jacob are, and Jacob and I thought it would be a really good idea to get kind of our hands-on, like something to do mechanical and something that has to do with aerospace at the same time in order to prepare for next year better.
I think it's important that the mural that's like down near the music wing is really representative of the music departments. And what used to be there was like an art student's representation of what went down there instead of really a music student's representation, which is why I'm really happy that I'm the one who gets to paint down there, because I have that like background as a music student, but I also have the abilities that comes from being an art student, so I can really accurately represent our music departments.
That's because you can leave our mark on the school in a physical way rather than like an emotional way.
To me, because it's something that I've been involved in since freshman year.
Yeah, I started sophomore year.
Yeah, me too. With him. I think the community is bolstered by the service projects. I think that the internships are exposed to their future workers, right? So I think that relationship building strengthens what it does is it strengthens the ties between professionals and, you know, young people who are going to be moving into those positions as time goes forward. So I think it's like that networking, that building a professional and establishing stronger community.
I think also breaks down stereotypes, because I think sometimes teenagers are stereotyped as either lazy or not motivated, or that's the same thing. But I think it's interesting once you have teenagers out in the community and you get to see this completely different side, that no, they're very invested in what they're doing, they're very passionate about it, and we're in good hands too. So I think having that opportunity to see that is really positive.
Well, I hope it's impacting the kids, and the kids are, you know, seeing me as a high schooler. They have someone to, you know, sort of look up to if they're interested in becoming an artist or anything, you know, that they can be like, oh, I remember this dude that was in our grade in third, fourth, whatever grade, and they can be like, oh, he wanted to, and he went after it, you know.
It kind of lets the kids like have a lot more fun than just being with their teachers. A lot more people around to talk to and do activities with.
They look up to us.
We didn't have this when we were in middle school, so I feel like it's a better experience for them, and hopefully we'll get them to say like, hey, I want to keep doing this throughout high school. Just do this when I'm a senior. And so yeah.
And we're kind of role models for them, so if we can make a positive impact on their lives, then they'll want to do it for other kids later, and that's what we want to keep going.
Or convince them to do it in high school, because I know a lot of them aren't doing it.
We should like make this a little tradition.
Yeah, that'd be so cute.
It's kind of like a way to give back to the community. You get to do something for either the school or the community around you, and kind of leave your mark on Valley.
With us painting rural Percival and stuff, it's kind of like conserving and like capturing it in a way, and that seems important. So.
I'm just like making that part of the school a little prettier. I know it's right next to where drama will paint advertisements for their shows, and that's awesome.
We were able to reach out to 4 different elementary schools, and we had over 250 elementary school students here, and then had over 400 high school students being involved here, so we was able to reach out to around 700 people.
Well, I feel as if there are a lot of people in a lot of different places around the country and around the world who don't get a chance to express themselves through music, and through my life, I've found that music has been a really awesome outlet for me, so I think that helping the community and helping other people get to experience that would be very beneficial, and overall just really, really good thing to have in their lives.
May is such a kind of a crazy time, right? You know, the 18 years of being in school, or 12 years of being in school, and being like having your schedule totally mandated for you, and being in some cases a rider on a bus that is taking to a set destination that someone else has prescribed. I think it's important that, you know, the next time you get off that bus, you're choosing which one to get on. You're choosing your next path. And this, I feel like, is a good stepping stone towards what that next choice will be. So I think it kind of supports that movement, that transition as you move forward.
Totally. And I also think it offers exposure maybe to things that I know I've had students in the past say that their capstone, they did just because it was something that they may have been interested in, but then they learned that's something they're so passionate about that they want to keep doing, either as a career path or they realize that that's not what they want to do at all, which I think is just as valuable.
Yes.
So I think offering that is huge.
I feel like Capstone is definitely a good opportunity for people to take what they've learned over the last 4 years, whether it be in school or out of school, and apply that to a real-world situation in which they can benefit the community or learn something new that might help them in a future career.
Get out into the community and figure out if there's something you may be interested in but you aren't sure. You can talk to someone and be like, hey, could I do this for a month or a few weeks and figure out if it's actually something I want to do.
Like if you're doing something related towards your major in college, it's really good to get that experience before you go to college so you know what to expect.
And if you had already chosen your major and you get to do this and then you decide you don't like it anymore, then you know before actually starting college.
Or the opposite, like if you don't know what you're going to do and you do something you're interested in, then you can go and see if it's the right thing for you.
Ordinarily, I wouldn't be able to do this, except for maybe in certain circumstances, like Aerospace 2 or those classes, but I would have to take that specific class. But this capstone allows me to, do what I want to do and learn more about what is important to me.
I think that it's something that, just in general, that everybody should have an opportunity to do, because it's something that just has a huge impact on everything around you, on yourself, and just really shows you if you're ready to, how you prepared yourself and how you've gotten ready to actually start dealing with outside world opportunities and problem-solving skills and just organization, a bunch of different life skills.
What I'm doing is more community-centered, so you can do something to help your community, or in my case, this was a project that I was really passionate about. I wanted to improve that part of the school and that, aesthetic of the music wing. So I was really passionate about that, and what I'm doing is for the sake of the community, or internships and stuff.
Follow your dreams, kids.
A mural is not as easy as people think it is, at least for us. That might be because we have Herbert right next to us all the time critiquing, but it is definitely a challenge like any capstone project is. So before you go into it, make sure that you are at least competent in some skills as an artist, and you can incorporate that into a large-scale project with a group.
Don't procrastinate.
All right.
Get your work done before, the week before capstone.
Yeah.
Oh. I almost did traditional capstone because I didn't think that I would need more time, but I'm absolutely, I'm glad I did the extended capstone, which is what my teacher mentor, Mr. Herbert, recommended, because I'm absolutely needing the time. So if you think that you're gonna need traditional, you don't think you're gonna need that much time, and you're doing a project like mine, you might need more time than you think.
I just like helping the kids, man.